Yahweh, we told you for bringing us through another week. Yahweh, we told you for the breath of life. Yahweh, we told you for the functioning of our limbs, being able to bring us out to see another Shabbat, to come out and worship you, to come out to give you praise that you well deserve. Yahweh, be with us in every step of the way. Be with us in the tough and the bad times. Yahweh, be with your people in such a way that anything that comes to this earth, anything that may be demonic, anything that may be evil on this earth, don't let it come near them, Yahweh. Those that continue to seek you night and day, wholeheartedly, Yahweh, continue to protect them from all hurt, harm, and danger. Yahweh, have our minds set on you. Have our minds in a prayerful state of mind in these last days. Yahweh, don't allow our minds to be taken away by Shaitan. Don't allow our children minds, our children to be led to this world. But Yahweh, put your Ruach into all of us. All of those that strive to see your face in peace. Let that Ruach continue to guide us into all tough things, to guide us in the right path that you have set before your people. And Yahweh, show your people how important they are, how special they are to you. Show them that they are a Kodesh people that you have called from the very beginning. And Yahweh, show us that we have to live this way of life according to what you say. We can't live according to what the world portrays in this world, but we have to continue to just follow your commands all the days of our lives. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name, we pray. Hallelujah. House of Israel, you may be seated. I say Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. And Shabbat Shalom, all that are tuning in on the live stream. Like I said, it's tough to just be in the house of Almighty Yahweh once again. Hallelujah. This evening, I want to talk about the nation of Yisrael and just focus on how Yahweh says for us to come out of her, my people. He no longer wants you to continue to do the things that other nations do. Yahweh has made you a specific nation. He has called you out of all nations to be his people. So we must see that we have the ability to do things on our own. We don't have to rely wholeheartedly on this world. If we rely wholeheartedly on Yahweh, he said you can do all things. And the people had to wake up and see. Don't let this world dictate to you who you are. Don't let this world dictate to you that you are nobody. Israel, you are a peculiar treasure in Yahweh's eyes. And don't let, when Yahweh opens your eyes to this way of life, don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed because you may look strange in front of the world. Who cares? Because, like I always say, we want to please Almighty Yahweh. So pleasing him, we have to show him that we're going to be with him every step of the way. And how do we do that? We have to do what he commands. We may not can come out all the way out of this world. We sometimes we have to rely on different things in this world, but he gives us many things that we can do on our own. He gives us the ability to come out on his Shabbat and learn of him. He gives us the ability to utter his Kodesh name. He gives us all these abilities to do. And I'm going to go into the Torah and show you how time and time again Yisrael constantly turned their back on Yahweh when Yahweh was trying to lead you to something great. That's what he is doing in this day right now, leading you to something great, Yisrael. He's leading you to that Kodesh kingdom that he has in store for you. Now, like I said, we have to see ourselves in this book, in this Torah. Like I said, don't let the world dictate to you who you are. Because if it's with the world, they'll tell you they are the chosen people. The world will tell you the things that Yahweh has given you as commands, they are not to be obeyed. You're supposed to do the opposite of what he says. So you can't rely on the world. The world will make you go astray. And I'm going to go into how Yahweh says, don't follow the heathen. Don't follow the Gentiles because they are not going to follow him. They are not going to do his ways. So don't even continue to follow them. Yeah, he scattered us throughout all nations. And he's put us within all the nations, the terrible, evil nations. So don't let that be something to tell you, okay, we can't follow Yahweh. We can't do what he says because we amongst all these evil people. No, Yahweh, see, with Yahweh, yeah, we transgress. Yeah, he scattered us, but he gives you ability to do different things, and he tests you to see, okay, if I put you in this situation, are you going to cry out to the Almighty Yahweh? Are you going to rely on Almighty Yahweh, or are you going to continue to just follow them? So hopefully this message this evening will show you how you can do different things. Like this evening, a lot of people out this evening doing their own thing. They going to the clubs. They're getting ready to go to Artscape. They're getting ready to do all types of folly in the world. Everything, and ignore Almighty Yahweh's Kodesh day. But the chosen people, those that Yahweh has called, know that, okay, we had to stop. We had to let all those things cease. Work, all things. He only asked you to worship one day, Yisrael. He didn't say, okay, do this every day. He asked for one day of you. And you can't come out one day and give him that honor. That's the least we can do for Almighty Yahweh. But like I said, this message this evening is going to show you how Yisrael continued to do wrong and what the consequences were. Yahweh wasn't playing then, and he's not playing right now. So Yisrael, let's get started in this message. I want to go to Revelations 18. Because, like I said, the time is drawing to a close. And we know, okay, those that are wicked and evil, those times are going to come to an end. And Yahweh's going to bring his wrath on this earth. Do you really want to be in the way of that wrath when he comes? So we can't continue to follow the nations and do everything that they want us to do. We have to, he said, follow him wholeheartedly. Not some heart, not a little bit of your heart, all of your heart. Because if you have your heart in the world and you have some of your heart with Almighty Yahweh, guess what? When it comes down to it, when Yahweh says, leave, come out of her, my people, you're going to be torn. You don't know what you want to go to. You want to go to Yahweh, you want to go to the world. But if you wholeheartedly with Yahweh, you're going to know. When Yahweh says come out, no, we're going straight with Almighty Yahweh. So Revelation 18, I want to start at verse 2. It says, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a home for demons and a haunt for every evil spirit, a haunt for every unclean and detestable bird. You look at this nation. You see everything that's evil, everything that's detestable in this world. And they let all these things go. They don't rebuke the people. They don't tell the people, oh, don't do these certain things. No, they hold it up high. Because this is a nation that wants to hold up sin, evil, wickedness. You look at the homosexuality, they hold that up. You look at other nations, compare this nation to other nations and see other nations don't hold on to that homosexuality stuff, that the transgender stuff. A lot of nations, you can be killed for that stuff. But like this nation, United States of America, what they say, the home of the free. You know, the free of all sin and wickedness. That's why a lot of people want to come here. You can do whatever you want here. You can do sin and they not rebuke you. You can do all types of things in this nation and get away with it. But like I said, go to other nations and see. They don't show you what you have to suffer when someone does something wrong, sin, they steal, they get their arms chopped off, their hands. They don't play. And like I said, we can't just go along with everything that is in this world. Okay, yeah, I hear people all the time say, well, I ain't against homosexuality as long as they don't come near me. Well, you don't disagree with it. You going right along with it. And like I said, you can't go along with everything. Like the voting. People always want to vote another ruler in the office. Like it's going to get better and better. It's going to get worse and worse because we're going further and further away from Almighty Yahweh. And I'll go to that once again, show you, okay, what happened when they wanted the king. And Yahweh told them, no, you have the king right there with you in your midst. Why you want to be like the other nations? But like I said, there's going to be destruction coming their way. And if you following them, you're going to be right along with it. It says, for all the nations have drunk the maddening wine of her adulteries. The kings of the earth committed adultery with her. And the merchants of the earth grew rich from every excessive luxury. Say, then I heard another voice from the Shemaim say, come out of her, my people, so that you will not share in her sins, so that you will not receive any of her plagues. For her sins are piled up to the Shemaim, and Yahweh has remembered her crimes. See, there's so much sin, filthiness going on in this earth today. We were just talking about it a few minutes ago. Different transgender things, homosexuality, anything goes. All these things, Yahweh is going. If you read up on Sodom and Gomorrah, the same thing going on. And what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It got to a certain point where Yahweh said, okay, enough is enough. The cries cried up to the Shemaim, and he heard. And he what did he do? Destroy that nation. And it's coming to that point, Yisrael. A lot of people, you don't want to have this mindset of, okay, I know destruction is going to come. I know these things are going to come, but I'll just wait till it's that time. You don't want to wait till the last minute, Yisrael. That's some people have that mindset. Okay, I'll deal with it when it comes. No, Yahweh gives you this time right now to prepare for it. And I'm going to show you later how he says this is going to be a dark time. A time like none other. So do you really want to play with that? Do you really want to wait till the last minute and see what Yahweh has in store? No. You see different destruction going on in this earth, in Hawaii, all over. Hurricanes, volcanoes, earthquakes. Yahweh's trying to get people attention, but still people not paying no mind. And that's just a little piece of what Yahweh can do, Yisrael. Do you really want to get in the way of Yahweh's wrath? No, we don't. But we can say, no, we don't, all we want. But our actions show us what we want. Because we can talk all we want, but Yahweh wants to see, are you going to really do what he says? Let's go to the book of Mark. This is Mark chapter 13, starting at verse 15. It says, let no one on the roof of his house go down or enter the house to take anything out. Because when Yahweh tells you, you have to flee, you have to leave, get away from these nations. Don't be trying to go back and you know how we are. You got to go back in the house, get everything in the house that we have, get the TV, get the jewelry. How you going to carry all this stuff with you? Even with food, you can't carry a whole bunch of food, water with you. You're going to have to rely on Almighty Yahweh. It's time and time again, he gives us visuals of how he's going to take care of us, of what he's going to do. Israel, just like in Israel, when they were in the wilderness, guess what? They had to rely on Almighty Yahweh. And Yahweh was taking care of them. But still, there's always somebody that want to complain. I'm going to that also. Always somebody that just don't want to trust in Almighty Yahweh. They don't think Yahweh can do what he says. Come on, Yisrael. The amount of time we've been on this earth, you have to see all the things that Almighty Yahweh can do in your lives. He's brought you out of many things in your lives that you thought you would never get out of. And that's not on yourself that you got yourself out of. Now that's Yahweh looking over you. So he deserves all the praise. Now it says, let no one in the field go back to get his cloak. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. Pray that this will not take place in the winter, because those will be days of distress. It says unequaled from the beginning, when Yahweh created the world, until now, and never to be equaled again. See, that's what I said. If you look at all the destruction that happened in this Torah, this doesn't even compare to what is coming. You see all with your own eyes what goes on in this world. Doesn't compare to what's coming. But we still treat it like, okay, I ain't paying it no mind. You can't have that. You can't have that mindset, Yisrael, to just, okay, I ain't paying it no mind. You see people how they act when things are up on them, disaster. They get all scared. Why you gonna wait till that last minute? So it says, if Yahweh had not cut short those days, no one would survive. See that, Yisrael? That has to be a serious time if Yahweh has to cut those days short so he has some people survive. This ain't nothing to play with, Yisrael. Now it says, but for the sake of the elect. Who are the elect, Yisrael? Yisrael, you are those that seek Almighty Yahweh wholeheartedly. That means he's going to look out for you, Yisrael. He's going to take care of you in those times of trouble. It says, whom he has chosen. He has shortened them. You see, he has shortened them because of you. He's going to protect you. He's not going to allow you to go that full brunt of his wrath. He's going to allow you to even see the destruction that falls on the face of this earth to the wicked and not let it come near you. If that ain't awesome, I don't know what is. But like I said, it pays to follow Almighty Yahweh. It pays to follow his commands and do every word he says, because you will be rewarded for those things. He's not going to let the things you do on this earth just fall down to the earth. No, he's going to reward you for everything that you have done. Let's go to Yeshayahu or Isaiah chapter 40. Show you what he thinks about these other nations. Isaiah 40:17 says, before him all the nations are as nothing. They are regarded by him as worthless and less than nothing. Why does he say that? because they do any and everything to not worship him. They do any detestable thing that angers him. So he said, okay, they're nothing. So he's trying to tell Israelites, why are you following them? They are nothing. Then he explains to you in this same chapter, these nations are nothing, but then I like how Yahweh talks. He shows you, okay, who can be compared to him? Find somebody that is like Almighty Yahweh. There's nobody. So why would you want to follow other nations, their idols, everything they worship is foolish. He even says, who can teach him knowledge? He is the beginning of all things, Yisrael. He is the creator of all things. So it's foolish not to want to worship him. He gives you the Torah because you are his people. He don't give the world his Torah. He don't give the world his commands. He knows that they're not going to follow those things. But Yisrael, we should be able to follow those things because we are his chosen people. And we should want to do it with delight, not begrudging and don't want to do it, dragging our feet. No, we showing Yahweh we don't want what he has for us. We show him that each and every day of our lives because we do our own thing every day. Let me go back to the Deuteronomy and show you what happens when we don't obey Almighty Yahweh. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Just talked about how he has scattered us throughout all the nations. Why? Because we have transgressed. We have not listened to him, so he scattered us among the nations. So Deuteronomy 28:64 says, Yahweh will scatter you among all nations, from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship other mighty ones of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. See, so you didn't even know these things. Your fathers didn't even know these things, but you still found time to look at the nations and see how they did things and follow what they did. Yahweh even says, okay, I'm going to put you among these nations, but don't worship the things they worship. It's a test, Yisrael. He's testing you to see if you are going to follow him. But we fail the test every time because we continue to do what the nations do. It says, among those nations you will find no repose, no resting place for the sole of your foot. There Yahweh will give you an anxious mind, eyes weary and longing, and a despairing heart. You see this today, Israel. You wonder why people are stressed, depressed. They don't know who to go to, what to do. They just want to end their lives. But see, it's all because we're not turning to Almighty Yahweh. If we would turn to him, all these things wouldn't bother us. All the things that are going in the world, all these things will not be a burden to us, will not bring us down. It says you will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day, never sure of your life. It says in the morning you will say, if only it were evening, and in the evening, if only it were morning. See, he's like, want to let the day go by. Like, man, things are so terrible right now. Morning time, I just wish it was evening time to just go past. But when evening time comes, you still dealing with the same dread. But it's constant stress, this constant depression on Israel is because we're not looking to Almighty Yahweh. So these things will come upon us. It says, because of the terror that will fill your hearts and the sight that your eyes will see. We see all types of things in this world today that it bothers you. You wonder why things happen in this world. You wonder why people do different things. These things bring you down. But like I said, those things, the world is going to cooperate the way they do. They're going to do what they do, Yisrael. The world is going to do their wickedness and filth, and Yahweh says, don't mind that. But mind yourself and prepare yourself, Yisrael, and do what he says. Don't let those things bring you down. Don't let those things stress you out. Let's go to even Deuteronomy 12. Deuteronomy 12:30 says, be careful not to be ensnared by inquiring about their mighty ones, saying, how do these nations serve their mighty ones? We will do the same. So you don't inquire about how they serve their different gods. No, just inquire about Almighty Yahweh. Inquire about what he wants us to do for him. He says you must not worship Yahweh, Yahweh, in their way. Don't do it like the world does. You know, worship him like he wants you to worship. You know, they even got the people thinking that the Shabbat is Sunday. See, worshiping on Sunday when the Shabbat is on the Sabbath. And it starts Friday evening, and then that Saturday, the day side. But you got the world twisted. Got the world twisted thinking it's something different. That says you must not worship Yahweh Yahweh in their way, because in worshiping their mighty ones, they do all types of things detestable. Yahweh hates. See, they do all types of things. They don't care. They don't care about Almighty Yahweh, so don't do it how they do it. They even burn their sons and daughters in fires as sacrifices to their mighty ones. See that you do all I command you. Do not add to it or take away from it. That's how people are today. They just take certain scriptures and use it to their advantage. No, you have to use all of what Yahweh has in his Torah. You can't take bits and pieces of it. No, you have to obey everything. That's what the world wants you to think. Even in the churches, they only go to certain scriptures to make you happy. They only go to certain scriptures to please you on that one day, so you feel good coming out of there. But they don't go on the scriptures to show you how Yahweh rebukes you when you sin. How Yahweh does not play with people when they do other things other than what he says. They don't bring those things out. They don't bring the sins to the people because they don't want to lose nobody. They want to keep their income coming in. Got the people duped. And it's sad. People fill the churches Sunday on the Shabbat. Nobody. It's sad. But that's how the world got us duped. How do you set yourself apart, Yisrael, if you're doing everything the nation's doing? You don't show Yahweh you with him. If you're doing everything that they doing, guess what? You are of them. You are doing everything they doing, and Yahweh sees it as, okay, you're not following me, you disobeying me, so stay in that world. Let's go to Deuteronomy 4. It says Deuteronomy 4:29. It says, but if you seek Yahweh Yahweh, you will find him. If you look for him with all of your heart, with all of your soul. See, I've been in the Christianity at one point in time, but I knew it was something wrong. It was something right. It wasn't right following that. Then all of a sudden, Yahweh opens your eyes and shows you. If you seeking him wholeheartedly and you want to follow his ways, he's going to show you his way. He's not going to continue to let you go in falsehood, Yisrael. That's why I said we had to do this wholeheartedly. When he sees that you real, then that's when he allows you to see his truth. He allow you to follow him. But if we do this half-handed, we do it how we want to do it, guess what? He's not going to open himself up to you. It says, when you are in distress and all these things have happened to you, then in later days, you will return to Yahweh and obey him. Yahweh has to send things to you to get your attention, Israel. He punishes you, he corrects you just to see, okay, you're not going to get away with what you're doing. If you want relief, Israel, you're going to have to follow Almighty Yahweh. It says, for Yahweh is a merciful Elohim, and he will not abandon or destroy you, or forget the covenant with your forefathers, which he confirmed to them on oath. So he's not going to forget about his nation. He made a covenant. That's a bond. He's not going to break that bond with Yisrael. So best believe if you follow him every step of the way, he's going to look out for you, Yisrael. Let's go to 1 Samuel, how I talked about we didn't follow him. We wanted to be like other nations. Now, we know Yahweh, people wanted the king. And Yahweh was their king. Yahweh was there every step of the way for them. That's all they had to do was worship him. But at a certain point in time, they wanted to be like the other nations. Why you want to be like the other nations when Yahweh's right there fighting your fights? Yahweh's right there obeying. He's doing everything for you. Why you want to go to other nations and do what they doing? Have someone physical in your midst to be king over you, when you had somebody there that was over all things, that could do all things. But guess what? Yahweh said, give them that king. Okay, let them have their king. But first, Yahweh told them what was going to happen to them if they wanted the king. Yahweh ain't going to put you out and say, okay, all right, do it. He's going to give you the rules. He's going to tell you, okay, what's going to happen, so you know. So you can change your mind if you like. But they didn't want to change their mind. They wanted to continue down the road of having a king. So 1 Samuel 8:18, it says, when that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, and Yahweh will not answer you in that day. But the people refused to listen to Samuel. No, they said, we want a king over us. Then we will be like all other nations, with a king to lead us and go out before us and fight for our battles. See, that's sad. But Yahweh told them, okay, these things are going to come upon you if you want a king over you. But they refused to listen. That's to this day, we continue to just follow the world, follow these nations, continue to vote, not rely on Almighty Yahweh, not relying on Yahweh and not seeing, okay, why are these things coming upon us? It's because we're not relying on him. So, Yisrael, I say we can't refuse. We can't refuse Almighty Yahweh. We can't refuse. He is our king, Yisrael. Let's go to Ephesians. This is Ephesians chapter 4, starting at verse 17. He says, so I tell you this, and insist on it, that you must no longer live as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their thinking. They are darkened in their understanding and separated from the light of Yahweh because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardening of their hearts. See, they ain't hardening their hearts. They not opening up to Almighty Yahweh. They gonna do what they want to do. They don't care about Almighty Yahweh. That's why it says, don't follow them. Don't think like they think, Yisrael. Come out of there, my people, it says. Stop doing it. Because, like I said, Yahweh says they're going to do their thing, they're going to do wickedness and evil. He gives you the Torah to follow. He made you a nation to be able to do things on your own, Yisrael. He was going to lead them to the promised land where they can do things on their own. Yisrael, message that we talked about it last week, how you are the salt of the earth, how everybody relies on you. See, we have to know that, okay, we have special gifts that Yahweh has given us. We can't look at ourselves as nothing. We have to be able to know we are of Yahweh and we can do all things. Now, Yahweh gives you 2 feet to stand on. You have to stand on those feet, Israel. You can't lie down and let the world just walk all over you. That's why different, you can see it. This world, they want you to follow this nation. Even as a child, they want you to stand up for this nation. The pledge of allegiance to the flag. You got even football. You got even people knelt down just because of all the things that were going on in this earth to Israel, making a statement. And you see how they did Kaepernick. The man was kneeling because he wasn't going to stand for this flag. He knew this flag, they don't care about the Yisrael. They don't care about the people. But they was going to make an example out of him. See, man can't even play football anymore. But they trying to show everybody else, okay, you following that path, guess what? You're not playing either. But Yisrael, they need you. They rely on you. All they have to do, all the players had to do is all of them step down and see how they react because they need that money flow. That's what they want. So if you mess with their money, guess what? They probably gonna bend and buckle and say, okay, all right, we give in. But see, we didn't do that. Just let the man go on his own and he can't play football the rest of his life. Everybody else just focus on what I can get. I need the money flow that I'm getting. I'm not going to take that knee. But like I said, we can't just give in to this world. You got to stand up for something or you're going to fall for anything, Yisrael. So, like I said, it says don't follow the Gentiles because their hearts are darkened. They're not, that Ruach is not going to be allowed to come into that vessel. Because Yahweh knows they're not of him and they're not going to follow him. So he's going to leave them off to their own. Let's go to Ephesians 2. Ephesians 2:1 says, as for you, you were dead in your transgressions and sins, in which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world. See, he said used to live, Israel. Can't go back to those ways. Once Yahweh shows you, corrects you, and shows you the right way, you have to follow that way to the end of your days. You can't focus on you hear people say the good old days. I remember back in the day, you used to do this and that. Can't focus on those things because guess what? You keep focusing on those things, guess what? You're going to go right back to them. And it's real easy for Shaitan to get in your mind. You had that thought, oh, he's up right in there trying to distract you, trying to confuse you to think, okay, yeah, those old days were tough. You should go back to them. But Yahweh says, don't go back to those things. Don't go back to the things you used to do. And it says, when you follow the ways of this world and the ruler of the kingdom of the air, it says the spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient. See, if you disobeying Yahweh, you're not doing what he's commanding, guess what? That spirit is in you, the spirit of this world, the spirit of Shaitan, because you disobeying. You only have two. You gonna follow Yahweh or you gonna follow Shaitan. And if you're not following Yahweh wholeheartedly, guess what? You following Shaitan. So even this message is a awakening for all of us to show us look into our own lives and see if we are actually following Yahweh wholeheartedly. We have to look within ourselves, Yisrael, because we could be walking this way of life and not even knowing we disobeying Yahweh. But we have to examine ourselves, like Dawid said, examine ourselves each and every day and make sure we are following Almighty Yahweh. All of us also lived among them at one time, gratifying the cravings of our sinful nature and following its desires and thoughts. This is like the rest, we were by nature objects of wrath. See that we by nature were objects of wrath. We don't want to get in the way of Almighty Yahweh's wrath, because if we continue to be disobedient and continue to do our own thing, we going further and further into that lake of fire. We're going further and further into Yahweh's wrath. Like I said, we just have to follow his ways so we can come closer to Almighty Yahweh. That's the only way we're going to know of him. We say we are having him. We say we praise Almighty Yahweh. But if we're not doing what he says, we don't have him. So, Yisrael, once again, come out of her, my people, he says. Don't be like the other nations. Let's go back to what Yisrael did in the wilderness. Numbers chapter 11. How other people influence Yisrael. This is Numbers 11:4. It says, the rabble with them, or the crowd with them, began to crave other food. And again, the Israelites started wailing and said, if only we had meat to eat. See, there were other people that came out along with Yisrael. And they let those people convince them. They let those people influence them of not liking what Yahweh had provided for them. See, like I said, Yahweh is with his people. You can't let other people influence you, Israel. You can't let other people distract you from the way. Can be anybody, Israel, in your family, in the world. Don't let anybody distract you from your way if you know this is the right way. It says, we remember the fish we ate in Mizraim at no cost. Also the cucumbers, melon, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our appetite. We never see anything but this manna. See that? Yahweh rained down that manna for heaven for them. And then they just got tired of it. They let the other crowd influence them and say, okay, yeah, it was better back in Mizraim. It was better in Egypt. We had all those other things to eat. And you know Yahweh was angry over that. So Yahweh can get back at you. Don't take Yahweh as a fool or anything. Yahweh will get back at you. Now, if you want to, even us, we can't be like, okay, why we have certain things, I wish we had other things. No, we have to be happy with what you have, Israel. This is the same thing. Yahweh provides you with the things that you need, but every day people complain, I wish I had other stuff. You know, I wish you could have nothing. You can be on the streets right now trying to beg for money or food. But Yahweh has provided for you. So be happy with what you have, Yisrael. It can't be worse. But this is how Yahweh got back at him. Verse 18 says, tell the people, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow, when you will have meat to eat. And Yahweh heard you when you wailed, if only we had meat to eat. We were better off in Mizraim. Now Yahweh will give you meat, and you will eat it. And you will not eat it for just 1 day, or 2 days, or 5, 10, or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it come out your nostrils, and you loaded, because you have rejected Almighty Yahweh, who is among you, and have wailed before him, saying, why did we ever leave Mizraim? See that how he gets back at you? Okay. You dislike what I've given you, the manna. Oh, I'm going to give you the meat that you asked for. But I'm going to give you so much of it, it's going to come out your nostrils. I hope you it's disgusting for you. Just to show you, no, I had what was right for you. Don't ever come at Almighty Yahweh saying, I wish I was back in Mizraim. Because Mizraim, they treated them bad. They didn't treat Yisrael good, did they? They treated Israel bad. Where you should have wanted to come out of there. But all you thinking about, yeah, it was tough when we had all that food. That's sad. See, and it's same thing this day, Israel. Coming to the last days. Yahweh shows you how he provides for you. But this system, when the system starts to collapse and they go to that mark, it's going to be sad to see how many people not going to rely on Almighty Yahweh. They're going to rely on this system. They don't trust Yahweh can provide. It's sad. But I like how the notes on my Torah says, for that verse, it says, the source of discontent is identified as the rabble or the crowd, referring to the strangers who had come out of Mizraim with the Israelites. It says, since they were not Hebrews, they had no personal attachment to Yahweh and his promises. And they were tired of manna and remembered only the food which was formerly available to them in Mizraim, forgetting all the reasons for fleeing. See, you just that's how we are as a people. We focus on food all the time. That's all we focus on, things that are pleasing to our vessels. But Yahweh was bringing you out of something terrible, and he was trying to get you to go to something that was great. Like right now, he's preparing us for something great. And it says they were held in low esteem by the Israelites. But Yahweh's people allowed themselves to be influenced by their grumbling. See, you got influenced by the others. But you should have known Yahweh was with you and he provides everything for you. Do not get influenced by the other nation, Israel. Don't let them, like I said, dictate to you how to live, what you're going to do, who you are. No, you know who you are, Israel. Yahweh has shown you. So live like it. Let's go to the book of Luke. This is Luke 17. Luke 17:26. Like I said, Yahweh gives you visuals of what's going to happen. Even in the future, when the Son of Man comes. Son of Yahweh. He gives you a visual so you will know, okay, I don't want to go down that same road, Israel. People not getting it. This is 17:26. It says, just as it was in the days of Noah, so also will it be the days of Son of Man. People were eating, drinking, marrying, and being given in marriage up to the day Noah entered the ark. So then the flood came and destroyed them all. See, last minute, people were playing, joking, thinking this was a joke. Noah was telling them, okay, get yourselves right. Flood's going to come. They wasn't paying them no mind. Same thing as this day. People, you warn people over and over again, telling them, okay, time drawn close. And if it's drawn to a close, you better prepare yourself, just right. But people just look at you like you're crazy, like you don't know what you're saying. Last minute, that's when people are going to try to straighten up. But then it's too late. This says, also, it was the same days of Lot. People were eating and drinking, buying and selling, planting and building. But the day Lot left Sodom, fire and sulfur rained down from the Shemaim and destroyed them all. Same thing. Gives you a visual. Okay, if that happened back then, it's going to happen this coming days, Yisrael. Now, even in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, when they brought Lot out, Lot was even trying to tell his sons-in-law, okay, we had to go. We had to flee because Yahweh is going to bring destruction to this place. What did they do? They laughed. They joked about it. They thought he was joking. They thought he was playing. They didn't take it serious. So guess what? They were destroyed when that fire came down. It says it will be just like that on the day of the Son of Man when he's revealed. On that day, no one who was on the roof of his house with his goods inside should go to get them. Likewise, no one in the field should go back for anything. Remember Lot's wife? See, don't look back, Yisrael. And we like following this way of life. Do not look back. Continue to follow in the way, the path that Yahweh has given you. Don't continue to look back, because Lot's wife was destroyed for doing that. And shows where your heart is. If you're going to continue to look back and focus on what was in this world, how we could rely on this system, your heart is not with Yahweh. You know, you have to be wholehearted with Yahweh, because when this wrath comes, he's not taking nobody that don't want him. And if you don't want him, you don't want to follow him, guess what? That destruction is going to come to you. Yahweh doesn't take pleasure in destroying his people, but guess what? If you don't want to follow him, guess what? He's not going to hold your hand. He's not going to force you. He's going to destroy you. It says, whoever tries to keep his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life will preserve it. So keep living with Almighty Yahweh. Don't be fearful of the nations, fearful what is going to happen to you if you follow this way. You see, some people, they don't want to follow Yahweh because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them. But guess what? If you lose your life in his name's sake, you will find it again, Yisrael. Don't try to duck Yahweh and, okay, now I'm going to save my life. No, he sees that. And if you try to save your life, guess what? It's going to be destroyed. So let's go to the book of Numbers. This is Numbers 16. See how even people, Yahweh tells you to get away from certain people, you better do it. And people like Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, how they tried to oppose Moshe, how they tried to go up against Moshe. That's how the same day, this day, how people always try to go up against the messengers. They try to always go against them. That same spirit. But Yahweh had something for them. Let's go to 16:8. And Moshe said to Korah, now listen, you Levites, isn't it enough for you that Yahweh of Yisrael had separated you from the rest of the Yisraelite community and brought you near himself to do the work at Yahweh's tabernacle and to stand before the community and minister to them? He has brought you and all your fellow Levites near himself, but now you are trying to get the priesthood too? It is against Yahweh that you and all your followers have banded together. Who is Aaron that you should grumble against him? Now see, when people go up against the ministers and messengers, you're not going up against that person. You're going against Almighty Yahweh. And that's what Moshe trying to tell them. Okay, who are you to come up against us? You going up against Almighty Yahweh. Yahweh sets the rules. See, Shaitan did the same thing. Yahweh gave him a certain position in the heavens, but no, he didn't want that. He wanted to be the man. He wanted to take over. See, that spirit always want to take over, always want to go up against those that are leading. Can't be like that. But once you go up against the priesthood, you go up against them, oppose them, guess what? That's death right there. Anytime you go up against them and try to bring them down, Yahweh is angry with that. So let's go to verse 21. He says, separate yourselves from this assembly so I can put an end to them at once. Moshe and Aaron fell face down and cried out, O Yahweh, the Elohim of the spirits and man, will you be angry with the entire assembly when only one man sins? Then Yahweh said to Moshe, say to the assembly, move away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Moshe got up and went to Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yisrael followed him. He warned the assembly, move back from the tents of these wicked men. Do not touch anything belonging to them, or you will be swept away because of their sins. See that? Come out of her, my people. Don't be partakers of their sins. If you want to continue to go down that road, you're going to be destroyed right with them. So they moved away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Dathan and Abiram had come out and were standing with their wives, children, and little ones at the entrance at their tents. Now see, it's even sad. They had the children, little ones with them, but everything that was with them was going to be destroyed. Yahweh doesn't play. This is, then Moshe said, this is how you will know that Yahweh has sent me to do all these things, that it was not my idea. If these men die a natural death and experience only what usually happens to men, then Yahweh has not sent me. But if Yahweh brings about something totally new, and the earth opens its mouth and swallows them with everything that belongs to them, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have treated Yahweh with contempt. And as soon as he finished saying all this, the ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them, with their households and all Korah's men and all their possessions. See that? Yahweh don't play. You see, even in the earth this day, you see all these sinkholes opening up. Yahweh don't play with men. See, but Moshe let them know, okay, Yahweh is with him. And showed, okay, going up against him, opposing him, all that mouth that was coming up against him, Yahweh dealt with that. So, like I said, you can't continue to follow these nations. When Yahweh say come out, you come out. Don't continue to go along rap with them, because like that earth opened up and swallowed them. Same thing gonna happen to you if you continue to follow them. Let's go to Hosea. This is Hosea chapter 2. Talk about how Yisrael is with Almighty Yahweh, because we are married unto Yisrael. Married unto Yahweh. In Yisrael, we have committed, like it says, adultery. We have done other things besides following him. But Yahweh continues to punish us, corrects us, to try to get us in the right path, because this is the only path to follow. Like I said, Yahweh does not want to see you destroyed. So in Hosea 2, it says, rebuke your mother, rebuke her, for she is not my wife, and I am not her husband. Let her remove the adulterous look from her face, and the unfaithfulness from between her breasts. Otherwise, I will strip her naked and make her as bare as on the day she was born. Now that right there, you see that to this day. That denotes shame, embarrassment. But you see how he does people this day. They walk around bare, stripped down, naked. They don't care. It's sad that the people ain't not even ashamed of that. People hold that up high. They want to go out there and flaunt themselves, but guess what? The nations, they eat that up. They use you in order for them to make their money. So Yisrael, like I said, we can't continue to degrade ourselves. We can't continue to do what the nation wants us to do. You are a chosen people. We have to be a Kodesh people like he's called. And it says, I will make her like a wilderness, turn her into a parched land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not show my love or Ahava to her children, because they are children of adultery. See that's we should teach our children right. The way we live is the way they're gonna live. They watch everything, Israel. Children, they take note of different things when they're a child. They take note of everything that you do. So if you slipping, if you not doing what Almighty Yahweh says, guess what? They take that in. They ain't gonna take it serious either. So that's the importance of why Yahweh says teach those children. Get command of the children and show them his way. That says, their mother has been unfaithful and has conceived them in disgrace. She said, I will go after my lovers who give me my food and my water, my wool and my linen, my oil and my drink. That's what we did in Mizraim. Let's go back to Mizraim where we had all the food, all the water. They provided for us, not Yahweh. That's why we do him this day. And it says, therefore I will block her path with thorn bushes. See, Yahweh starts to put all these things in the way of us. All these problems. You wonder why you have so many problems in your life. Why you continually do things the wrong way. Because you're not following Yahweh. He's going to put roadblocks in your way to show you you're not doing this right. It says, I will wall her in so that she cannot find her way. Curse. You had so many things coming at you. Like we read earlier, you be in a state where, okay, you want the day to hurry up. You know, so many things going on in your life that you are stressed and depressed, but these things are coming towards you because you disobey Yahweh. And it says she will chase after her lovers, but not catch them. She will look for them, but not find them. Then she will say, I will go back to my husband as at first, for then I was better off than now. See, there's a point in time where we got to know, okay, following Yahweh is the only way of life. Following Yahweh is the only truth in this world. Following the nations in the world, that is not life at all, Yisrael. When you follow Almighty Yahweh, you know you're going to get faithfulness, you're going to get just, you're going to get all tough things. But if you following the nations, they don't care. They do all wickedness. So, verse 14. Therefore I am now going to allure her. And I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. There I will give her back her vineyards, and will make the valley of Achor a door of hope. There she will sing as in the days of her youth, as in the days she came out of Mizraim. In that day declares Yahweh, you will call me my husband, and you will no longer call me my master. I will remove the names of Baal from her lips, or the Lord. No longer will their names be invoked. And he's talking about a certain point in time where Yisrael is going to come and honor him. They're going to come and worship him. There's no more of not knowing who Yahweh is. No more of uttering all these Lord God and Jesus. No, this day everybody will know Almighty Yahweh. He will take the name of Baal out of your lips. And it says, in that day I will make a covenant with them, with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air, and the creatures that move along the ground. So he gave man dominion in Israel. You had dominion over everything on the face of the earth, but we lost that because we transgressed. And it says, bow and sword and battle I will abolish from the land, so that all may lie down in safety. And I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you in righteousness and justice, in love and compassion. And I will betroth you in faithfulness, and you will acknowledge Yahweh. See, we are married unto him, Israel. So he acknowledged you as in a marriage. That's why you wonder why so many marriages go awry. People don't take marriages serious, because we're not taking Yahweh serious. If we put Yahweh first, and both that man and woman follow Almighty Yahweh, then guess what? That marriage is going to succeed. And then when that marriage succeeds, guess what? We going to take Almighty Yahweh serious. We're going to hover him. We're going to do all things that we need to do in order to be a Kodesh people, like I said. In that day I will respond, declares Yahweh. I will respond to the skies, and they will respond to the earth. And the earth will respond to the grain, the new wine and oil, and they will respond to Jezreel. And I will plant her for myself in the land, and I will show my Yahweh to the one I called not my loved one. And I will say to those called not my people, you are my people. And they will say, you are my Abba. So in that day, everybody is going to worship Almighty Yahweh. Everybody is going to hover him and cry out to Almighty Yahweh. But like I said, in this day, you have so many people just want to follow the world, just want to follow the other nation, not paying Yahweh any mind. But we had to come off of that, Yisrael. We had to follow Yahweh wholeheartedly in this lifetime. Don't wait and say, okay, I'll do it in the next lifetime. Because if you wait and say, I want to serve Yahweh, then it's too late. He's not going to take you, because you ain't take him in this lifetime. Let me show you how important you are, where you are not going to follow the nations. The nations will follow you. Let's go to Zechariah. So you got to open people's eyes and show them they are important. They are the people in this book. So they'll know, okay, yeah, I don't need these nations. All I need is Almighty Yahweh. So Zechariah chapter 8, verse 20. Says, this is what Yahweh says. Many people and inhabitants of many cities will yet come, and the inhabitants of one city will go to another and say, let us go at once to entreat Yahweh and seek Yahweh Almighty. I myself is going. And many people and powerful nations will come to Jerusalem to seek Almighty Yahweh and to entreat him. And this is what Yahweh says. In those days, 10 men from all languages and nations will take firm hold of one Yahudim by the hem of his robe and say, let us go with you, because we have heard that Yahweh is with you. See, that is not going to be the reverse. You going to the nations and following them. No, that day they're going to know Yahweh is with you, and they're going to want to follow you, and not to hold you up and hold you as something great. No, it's all about Almighty Yahweh. He gets all the praise. So that's why they want to inquire about Almighty Yahweh. So they see it on you, so they're going to want to follow you. Because Yahweh is the one that exalts you. Yahweh is the one that honors you as his people. So he's going to put it on you to show the other nations that you are his people and to go to them for instructions. That's serious. Even through all the things that we have done in this lifetime, like I said, Yahweh is merciful and he harvests his people, and he wants to see you succeed, and he wants to see you as a people that can rely on him, not the nations. In my closing scripture, I want to go to 2 Timothy. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. It says, do your best to present yourself to Yahweh as one approved, a workman who does not need to be ashamed and who correctly handles the word of truth. Do your best, Yisrael. Do all you can to follow Almighty Yahweh and handle this, what he is giving his people, his Torah. Handle this, Yisrael. Don't let this slip. You got to guard this. You got to fight for this. But show Yahweh that you are not ashamed to follow this way of life. Verse 19. Nevertheless, Yahweh's solid foundation stands firm, sealed with this inscription. Yahweh knows those who are his, and everyone who confesses the name of Yahweh must turn away from wickedness. Hallelujah. So Yisrael, continue to follow Almighty Yahweh wholeheartedly. Do not be ashamed of him. Just continue to follow him, and he will not forsake you. And like it says in Psalms, I believe 91, it says how destruction may come around you. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your hand, but none of those things will come near you. Yisrael, Yahweh is going to protect you. He's going to let you see the destruction that's going to fall on the wicked. So we can't follow them. You can't continue to do everything that they want you to do. You have to continue to rely on Yahweh so we don't fall in that wrath that's coming to this earth. And it's coming. Don't look at it like, okay, man, it's taking this time. I wish it would hurry up. No, you want to patiently wait and get yourselves ready. So in that day, you will not fall. In that day, you will not turn your back on Almighty Yahweh. But in that day, you will be strengthened. So you rely on him and trust that he will provide for you in those days. Hallelujah. At this time, I conclude my message, and I ask that everyone stand as we go into prayer. Abba Yahweh, continue to just look over us in these last days. Continue to provide for us. Continue to have us to continue to focus on you in these last days and not the world. Continue to just show us the way. Continue to have our minds focused on you at all times, and don't let any amount of distraction tear us apart from you. Don't let Shaitan and his traps and snares draw us away from your truth. Abba Yahweh, continue to be with even those that are seeking you at this very hour. Continue to open their eyes and show them your truth. Be with those that are sincerely with you wholeheartedly. And Abba Yahweh, don't allow any harm to come to their vessels. Continue to walk with them every step of the way, and continue to be with your nation and shed your light and show your people that they are Kodesh people. They are important, and they can rely on you every step of the way. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.